So how much have you been able to reflect in the past, not quite 48 hours?
Yeah, honestly, it's haven't really had much time, to be honest. Still so fresh and raw, and still really disappointed. To be honest with you, it's obviously this year's been way different, and what we've been able to accomplish, and yeah, no, it's still not over it. To be honest with you, I still wish we were playing Game 7 tonight, and yeah, so I haven't really had time to think about this year, what the future entails. All I know is that the hunger and the excitement sucks being able to not play right now. But with saying that, I think I said after the game that everything happens for a reason, and I think it's going to create that much more excitement for this group for next year and what we're able to do, and the belief that we have in each other to do what needs to be done.
Do you think about your injuries and what you were perhaps dealing with down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got something going on. So, yeah, just was battling through a couple things, and but I don't think injuries are an opportunity to be an excuse because everybody's got something going on. So, but now it's just time to take care of it, deal with it, and make sure I'm 100% come next year.
Did you hurt impacted? Were you?
I mean, it definitely would have been better feeling 100%, but I mean, that's just, I think when you're dealing with something, just a ton of credit and for the guys behind the scenes, all the trainers and everybody that, the strength guys to help you get to as good of a shape as you need to be able to play. And saying that's just not the only guy who was dealing with something, and that, those guys that don't get enough credit to get us as healthy as possible to play and do whatever it takes to win. And but now it's that we're not playing. It's just the time to take care of it, and so nothing's lingering and lasting for next year.
We know you had a hip tweak at one point in the year. Was that what you hurt during Four Nations?
Yeah. The hip's been, happened at Sweden game, and just took some time coming back to try to get as good as possible. And those games, I mean, that was kind of our mindset, is those are Game 7 games starting then. So just wanted to battle to get to playoffs, and the end goal is to win the Stanley Cup, and didn't do that. And so now it's just to take the time to get that all healed up. Now it's a couple months to which will be good to heal up in the next little bit, couple weeks, and be able to get trained, get ready to go for next year.
You were dealing with you were dealing with the lower body injury after the Four Nations, but you also had an upper body injury. Were you dealing with both of those lingering injuries during the playoffs, or just one of them?
Just one of them. The upper body was obviously a frustrating one, especially at the end of the year, and one that I can't really control. But it allowed, when that happened, to try to get the lower body as good as possible come playoff time. But yeah, it was just more lower body that was dealing with towards the end there.
What was the upper body injury?
I mean, I definitely don't want to diagnose and kind of put it out there. It's just, let's just say, something you can't really play through.
Once you have a chance to reflect, Brady, though, will you look back and say, okay, this team made a step, and what can you do next year that you're not after the first round? You got to get to the first round.
Yeah.
After the first round.
Yeah, well, I mean, just getting that taste, and to be honest with you, it's just this whole experience of playing in front of this fan base and playoffs and even the regular season, but just the energy, the excitement, the atmosphere was. This is the only way I can really describe it. It's almost addicting to be able to play in front of that atmosphere, and it was truly the best atmosphere I've ever played in, and it was so special, and all the credit goes to the fans, this community, and just how special it was. Like, every morning I couldn't tell you how excited I was just to step out on the ice, and those rally towels, and that just fire and excitement that the fans had and been waiting for a long 8 years to be able to share that with them, it was so special. And now it's, and I know we're going to get better internally, and we're just going to get better overall. That when that time comes next year, that we're not just looking at, all right, we're just happy to be in playoffs. We want more. So that's what I've taken from this time of as much reflection as I've had, and it has been much, but the 48 hours that we want more, and we believe that we have this group, and we trust from everybody, certainly Mr. Anlauer down, that everybody has the same vision and really wants to accomplish and share this whole experience and these memories with this community as well.
I presume you'll follow your brother for the rest of his time in the playoffs and his family as well, right?
To be honest with you, I'll be watching from afar. It's definitely different this year, especially last year when he got to win the Stanley Cup and being along for that. It's he knows all the support I'll have for him, but it's going to be from afar this year.
Sat here a number of times at end of the season, frustrated at how things turned out. How different is it now to go into an off season, having had playoff experience, and what do you think needs to happen for this team to progress even further?
Yeah, like you said, it's been way different. It's been more frustrated in years past, but this year I think it's just disappointing. We accomplished what we knew what we could do, but I think going through it, it was just so close this series that anything kind of could have happened, and could not be sitting here right now if a couple bounces went a different way. So I think just the disappointment comes from knowing that where we're at and where we're going to get to, and that our end goal is something that isn't really a pipe dream anymore. It's something that we're going to continue to get better, and I think it's to your question is it's all about just growing as players, growing as a group, and know that we want to win the Stanley Cup, and not just getting the playoffs isn't good enough anymore, and it's about doing whatever it takes to win, and I think that's just the mindset we're going to have this summer and going into next year, that every day we're going to be true professionals, and it's all about being consistent. And I think we showed signs of that this year, and that's our opportunity to grow, is just being consistent day in and day out, and being ready from day one of camp, is that there's one focus and one goal, and we're not going to stop till we get there.
Go ahead.
What stood out the most for you about playoff hockey?
I mean, it's just honestly what stood out is that every game's a new game. It didn't matter, being down 3, that we had a new opportunity ahead of us, and that kind of stood out as the momentum swings that happen during a game, but it doesn't carry on to the next game. It's a whole new game. It's a whole new opportunity, and just how close everything is. It's, I wouldn't say in the regular season you might get a team's off night, or we might have an off night, but in playoffs it's everybody's best 100% of the time. So I think that's what makes playoff hockey so special and so fun, that if you're going to win, you earn it. You don't just get a fluke of like we kind of stole the game. It's you earn your every opportunity and every right to win that game.
Brady, when you mentioned that you're going to watch your brother from afar, is part of that the disappointment of the fact that you lost to Toronto and that's who they're playing? Like, why are you watching from afar?
Yeah, I mean, I guess a little bit's that disappointment that we're still not playing, where we played well enough to get to where we're at, and the disappointment of not continuing, I guess, is a part of it. And for me, it's just take care of everything we need to take care of individually for the next couple of weeks, and decompress, regroup, and he knows that I've always been there every step of the way for him, and it's just different this year because we consider ourselves to should be playing, still be playing, and just take the time to, I don't even know if I'll definitely watch him and wish him all the best, but I think just take this time to regroup, reset, and just kind of reflect on everything that's going to happen this past year.
How special was it for your family to follow you around in your playoff series rather than Matthew?
I mean, it was super special, and I know it's just the first time. I know there's going to be many more times down the road. But just to kind of, I know for me to accomplish a lifelong goal, just to play in playoffs, and every year it's always been the same mindset of no matter where we're at as a team is want to win the Stanley Cup, and just disappointing that that didn't happen this year. But I know I have faith that we'll be able to get that done. But to share this whole experience, being on the other side and supporting Matthew every step of the way is always been fun to see him have success, and I know it was really nice and really awesome to kind of have that the other side where people are coming and supporting me and our team. And I think that's what makes it a little bit kind of tougher, just to see the support that I've had from family and friends, and I wanted to have a little bit of a better result for them. But I know that day will come, and just know that everything happens for a reason.
The expectations around this team have clearly changed after your playoff run. In your view, what do you think this team needs to take that extra step with remaining a playoff contender and eventually becoming a Stanley Cup contender?
To be honest with you, I haven't really had time to kind of think about that. My only focus the last little bit has been the team we have in this room, and honestly doesn't even feel real yet that we're not going to be playing anymore. So I haven't had time to focus on what we need or what we need to take the next step. I think that will come in the next couple days, weeks, and after having some time to think about it. But no, right now it's just enjoying this time that we have the last couple days with this group, and kind of setting off to be ready to have a big summer. I think the only thing I have really reflected and thought about it is just how we're going to need to be that much better as individuals. I know that there's going to be no complacency with our group, but the first step is just internal growth, and whatever decisions or things happen to help our team, it's going to be made for the right reasons, the right time, and just when that time comes is just internally we just got to be that much better, and just have a lot of growth.
What areas do you feel like you can improve on individually this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think being able to play an 82-game season has always been something that I've wanted to pride myself on, and especially those games that I've missed. I don't know how many it was this year, but sucks watching, sucks not being able to play and help the team in any aspect that I can. So I think that's just the first goal and focus is, I know there's things that you can't control, but just making sure that I'm 100% healthy and ready to go to have the mindset to play 82-game seasons. And just when it comes to my game individually, I think every aspect of my game can be better, and still feel like there's a lot more growth in my game that I can get to. And it's going to be a big summer for me. It's going to be a big summer to hammer out everything physically and mentally, and just being ready to rock and roll from day one of camp. And but I think to your question, I think every aspect of my game can get better.
Brady, last year you were the captain of Team USA at the World Championship. Are you going to be going back?
I don't think so. Just want to take care of all the nagging stuff got going on, and so yeah, won't be playing in Worlds this year. I just want to take care of myself physically and get fully healthy to get ready to go for next year.
You were constantly outspoken this year specifically about how fond you are of this city and of this fan base. From like several years ago when you got here, what made you so committed to immersing yourself in this city, and how has that grown over the years?
Well, I think it's just ever since I've gotten here, they've just been so supportive and so welcoming to me and my family. And for me, it's, of course, it's our job, but I mean, this is the best job in the world. And what we do is want to grow the game and be good role models for, the next generation of kids. I've had so many heroes I've looked up to my whole life, and a lot of that's been in the hockey world and players that have played, and for me to just be a positive role model and somebody that kids can look up to, and I take that it's really important to me. The way I kind of compose myself is I always want to be a positive role model for kids, and somebody that they can look up and want to be, and I think that's very important for us players to have that. And I think we do a great job with the guys on our team that, always in a good light and always supportive of this city and this unbelievable fan base, and something that we always want to have them be proud of, and know that we gave 100% on the ice, off the ice, and so that they can leave a good taste in their mouth, that they spent all their hard work, money to come watch us or come support us, that they can be proud of the product that we have on the ice.
What clear was it to you that this town was rallying behind this team more and more as the season went on?
I mean, it's just I can't really describe my emotions when it comes. It was so unbelievable, to be honest with you. It was so special. I mean, coming out for Game 3, the excitement, it was just a long time coming for them, and I think it's a ton of the credit goes to them, that it's been a long 8 years, and for everybody that's been through the tough times, been through the lows, to finally experience the other side of it. I think it's just the first showing of it, and I know there's gonna be a lot more years of success and a lot more years of better feelings towards the end of the year, and I know everybody's disappointed, but I think when you have disappointment, it means you care a lot about what's going on, about the product on the ice. So it's just been unbelievable towards the end, and I know everybody's a little disappointed right now, but I think it's going to set up for a great story here down the road.
Brady, for some reason, there's this noise and all these rumors always that you want out. How do you react to that?
I mean, obviously it's a lie. All those article stories, it's just not true, because but I think it's on me if I let that bother me or take me off what I'm trying to do. It's everybody knows that do whatever it takes to win, and seeing this fan base, this excitement, see how much they rallied around us is everybody's waiting for it. Everybody wants to accomplish and win the Stanley Cup, and I know we have a great group in here, and I know we're just going to get that much better, and I know there's going to be some amazing times, memories here down the road, and but I think with all that stuff, it's obviously not true. I want to play here, I want to win here, and I really believe in everybody in this organization, and that everybody wants to win here, and I think that's what makes it fun, is everybody has the same goal and wants to accomplish the same thing.
I think the disappointment lingers for you. There's no small thing for the organization just to get to the playoffs, knowing how long it can be.
I think just disappointment. Just we want more. I think playoffs is an amazing experience, but to our point a little bit is that honestly our expectations are different now. It's not about just getting there and accomplishing that. It's everybody wants to win, and I think that's where the disappointment comes in, because at the end of the day, you want to win the Stanley Cup, and to not accomplish that this year, and it's just going to create disappointment. But we'll take that, use that as fire, use that as fuel, and to be ready to go next year and not stop until it happens.
After Game 4,
You interrupt us up, guys, for a few more questions.
After Game 4, you go on the ice, you look at the fans, and you're saying it's coming back here. You win Game 5, and you're able to bring it back for Game 6. How did it feel for you to be able to back up that promise to fans?
Well, I mean, the fans deserved it. I definitely wanted more home games after Game 6, but I mean, it truly was such an unbelievable atmosphere and experience that I think they deserved it, and I think it says that the long 8 years, the excitement that they had, that I just wish there was more home games to be played in front of them, because it was honestly the best time of my life and best time of my hockey career, and I know there's gonna be a lot more atmospheres, energies like that, and like I've said, this whole playoff experience, we absolutely thrive off them and their energy and their excitement, and it's not just fans and then there's players. It's everybody's together, everybody in the city, this community. Everybody's a part of it, and I think that's just going to stick with me all this summer, and it's going to make that next year that much more exciting.
Your lineman closure is a free agent, so how important is it for you to wait for this room just to get him back in the next week?
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows how much he means to me. I know we've played 3 years together, but I feel like I've played with him, my whole career, and I've known him my whole life. And no, obviously, I really hope and I expect that it's all going to work out. And he's such a big part of our team. Not just his experience, but he's still a top player in this league, and I think it just says to him as a guy, his preparation and his will to win. Everybody wants to win for him, and I know I expect him to everything to work out and him to be back and kind of chase this dream together.
Brady, we know you touched on it a little bit, but now the fans have got a taste. What's your message for them heading into next season?
Ooh, I mean, just we're all in this together. You guys have really been absolutely amazing, so supportive, and I'm really excited to share this and share these future memories with you guys, and truly is going to be a special ride, and can't really thank them all enough for everything they've done for this team, but for me as well. And I'm not really prepared for that question just because how much they mean to me and how much they mean to this team. And it's going to be a long summer, but I know that we're going to come with so much fire and for next year, and that it's really going to be a special year next year and special years down the road, and looking to share that with them.
It's been a couple of days since you guys were eliminated from the playoffs. How have you been feeling?
Proud of our year. It's special, I think, and being able to get that playoff experience and playing in a building like this with the fans was pretty surreal and makes us want more. So,
what did you think of your own playoff experience and how you played in those games against Toronto?
I'm proud of the way I played. I think I proved a lot of people wrong and turned a lot of heads, and that's my game right there is playing hard and being able to produce in a bottom six role. And I think I elevated my game in the playoffs and throughout the year and found another level that I could get to, and just going to build off that now.
Have you had any discussions with the club in terms of your future here, or?
I think they got some things to figure out over the next few weeks, and after they talk as a staff, and hopefully come back and get something that works for everyone.
Given the kind of season you had, how do you reflect on maybe your stock going up, and where you think you could stand with either this NHL team or another team?
Yeah, I think stock has definitely risen, and that was a personal goal of mine. Is proving that I'm an everyday NHL player, and finally getting over that hump of is he an AHL player or NHL player, and I had certain goals for personal goals that I set for myself when I signed here, and I pretty much nailed everyone. And just expanding my game defensively and being able to get on the PK and just adding value to myself as a player. And good playoff teams need a good bottom six to support them through the playoffs, and that was kind of my goal. Once I kind of had that fourth line center role on lock around the trade deadline, I just kind of committed myself to being the best fourth line center I could be and help this team in the playoffs.
Have you been getting any feedback from your agent on whether there's a lot of chatter about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still early, so nothing too specific yet. Just more that I'm in a good spot to, earn a decent contract, and that's all I can do is what I did this year, and then the rest will take care of itself, I think.
How would you describe your relationship with the head coach, Al?
I think it's great. I had a good conversation with him earlier, and I told him I could tell he's become a much better head coach and grown as a head coach, and when he talks, the guys listen, and what he says, you really take it in, and you play for him too, and he's great at managing guys' ice time and practice times, and he's played a lot of games, so he gets it too. And I think he's grown more confident as a coach, and you can see it on the bench and in the media, and he's a real fun guy to play for.
Is there a chance you're going to play for the U.S. at the Worlds?
No, I got a baby coming any day now.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Learn about yourself throughout this, because it's been a bit of a journey. So how rewarding is it personally to kind of see things get to where they are right now?
I don't think I learned too much about myself. I think I think I said something about this earlier. Like, I knew I could do this. I think it was more you guys and everybody else that learned about me. But I've always had the mindset like I can do this, and I can be an impactful player in this league, and just needed a chance to prove it, and that's what Steve and Greener have given me here, and I'm grateful for that. And but I think this is just the beginning, and I have a lot more to give, and I pride myself on becoming a better player every summer and every off season, and over the past 4 or 5 years I've gotten exponentially better at my game, and I'm only going to do that again this summer and come back ready to go next year.
Claude, how have you been processing these last few days since you guys were eliminated from the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough couple of days. Just knowing that we're in that series and we're playing some good hockey. When we tied it up in the third in Game 6, I thought we weren't going to lose that game, but we're sitting here right now a little frustrated and disappointed, but we still got to be proud of what we did.
What do you think of the steps, particularly with the younger players who didn't experience playoff hockey before this spring? What do you think of the steps they took throughout the season in the playoffs in their game?
Yeah, I mean, it's something we need to be proud of. Is it's not just making the playoffs; it's how we did it and how we came together, and everybody bought into what we were trying to do, and it was pretty clear to us. So I think when everybody's on the same page like that, it just makes everybody's job a lot easier. And going down the stretch, I think we're playing some good hockey there.
And how do you see your future unfolding with this team?
Yeah, I mean, I knew this question was going to come, but it's still early. I haven't given any thoughts. Haven't really talked to Steve yet. So, I love the players, the fans, the city. This year was the most fun I've had in a few years. Just coming to the rink was a lot of fun, and in that locker room, pretty tight locker room, so a lot of good things.
How do you reflect on where you're at in your hockey career? How many more years you want to play, that kind of thing?
Well, I don't know how many left, but I feel like I have a lot left in the tank, and like I said, I'm loving hockey right now. I want to play, and I feel like I could be an impact player. So it's just it's going to be a big summer for me, and for all my teammates too. So we have a little taste of it, of playoff, how it feels and how fun it is, and when you have that little taste, you want to get back into it.
When you say it's going to be a big summer for you, in what respect?
Just making sure I'm ready to go when the season starts. I got to be in good shape. Got to make sure that when camp starts, I'm ready to go.
What all goes into making the season so enjoyable for you?
What's that, sorry?
What all went into the season being so enjoyable for you?
Well, winning is one of them, but I think it's the way we did it too. It was great to see how everybody bought into how we wanted to be, and I feel like we found an identity this year, and we rolled with it. So, and coming to the rink with those guys every day, it's they keep me young, that's for sure, and we go at it every day, and it's just so much fun. But we got a little taste of it right now, so we have to build on that.
For a while, you brought the most experience to this group, I think, about the first and second years you were here. How much easier did did David Perron, Linus Ullmark make life for you to be able to kind of dilute some of that experience level?
No, anytime you can never have too much experience in one team, and when guys come in and they've been with other teams and win Stanley Cups and deep playoff run, I mean, everybody's got that experience and they've been through it. So it's when you see guys like that, the way they act when it gets a little tough. I mean, you can learn a lot. I personally learned a lot from those guys, just the way they are, and so I can only imagine how it helped the young guys too.
A lot of players say that one of the important things of playing in a market is having a good situation at home. How good has this situation been for you since you came home here?
It's been great. I mean, last year was a little rough. After my first year, I thought we were going to take that step, and we didn't. So that was frustrating. But now that this year, and it's just like we're playing some good hockey, and we're having fun doing it too. So we had a blast. We gave ourselves a chance to win that series, and coming back from 3-0 is it's definitely not easy. But you can see the belief in the guys, even when we're down 3-0. We knew if we play our game, we'd get back in the series.
How do you reflect on the the Maple Leafs and like the other teams in the Stanley Cup playoffs? Are you going to be watching them?
I have trouble watching when I'm out, but I'll probably watch a little bit. Gavin will probably convince me to watch a few games. So, it's playoffs is the best time of the year, and when you're not in it, it's not so fun to watch.
En français, oui. Quelles ont été vos réactions quand vous avez appris que vous étiez en partie des séries? Est-ce que vraiment ça a été une sensation de devoir accompli pour l'équipe cette année?
Oui, c'est sûr. Je pense que pendant la saison, on a bien commencé. Après ça, on jouait pas trop bien. Puis ça, c'était frustrant un peu, mais la façon qu'on a pu venir en équipe, puis de pouvoir gagner plusieurs matchs pour pouvoir faire les séries, c'est quelque chose qu'on est fiers de. Puis,
Est-ce que l'organisation a fait une bonne chose selon vous cette année? Ça a aidé vraiment l'équipe à aller jusqu'aux séries?
La quoi, excuse?
L'organisation,
Oui, je pense depuis que M. Enlauer puis Steve ont arrivé, je pense que tu peux voir comment que les choses ont changé un peu. Puis les partisans, surtout en série, tu as pu voir les partisans comment ils étaient en arrière de nous. Puis ils nous ont aidés beaucoup à faire les séries. Puis pendant les séries, tu peux juste voir après la Game 6 comment que les partisans sont en arrêt de nous, puis ça l'aide beaucoup.
La question pour moi, Brady Tkachuk, il apporte vraiment une différence en série. Il a joué vraiment comme un vétéran de haut niveau cette année.
Oui, il a bien joué. Il a fait des gros buts pour nous, puis je pense qu'on a plusieurs joueurs qui ont très bien joué pendant les séries, qui nous ont donné une chance de gagner, puis pour les joueurs-là, c'est la première fois dans la série, ils vont apprendre beaucoup, puis il faut juste continuer à pousser.
À quel point est-ce que Travis Green et tout son personnel d'entraîneur ont contribué au succès de l'équipe cette saison?
Oui, je pense que quand ils sont arrivés, on voulait avoir une identité, puis je pense que ça a pris un peu de temps de pouvoir cliquer, mais quand ça a cliqué, c'est là qu'on a commencé à gagner plusieurs matchs. So, je pense que avec le momentum qu'on a comme c'est là, c'est sûr que c'est pas un bon feeling comme c'est là qu'on a perdu en première ronde, mais je pense qu'on a encore du momentum puis il va falloir continuer.
Est-ce que tu as vu peut-être ton rôle de vétéran avec les plus jeunes joueurs, pas juste cette saison, mais en arrivant en séries éliminatoires aussi, toi qui avais un peu plus d'expérience aussi dans les séries?
Oui, je pense qu'il y a plusieurs joueurs dans l'équipe qui avaient joué les séries avant, so je pense que c'était pas juste un ou deux joueurs, je pense que c'est tous les joueurs ensemble. Puis on est une équipe qui est proche hors glace. So, je pense que tout le monde aidait tout le monde.
Ça a amené beaucoup de changements au directeur général, aux entraîneurs, même à l'équipe, aux communications. communication. Ces changements-là dans la glace, est-ce que tu es capable de me décrire un peu de quelle façon ça a influencé le step que vous avez été capable de prendre?
Ouais, ça stabilise tout. Je pense que M. Lauer, il me rappelle beaucoup de M. Snyder que j'avais à Philadelphie. Puis c'est une personne qui care beaucoup de ses joueurs. Puis il est toujours là pour nous supporter, que ce soit victoire ou défaite. Il sait qu'on donne tout ce qu'on a, puis il est fier de nous autres.
De quelle façon avoir ça vous aide justement ça vous a aidé à prendre le step cette année?
Oui, mais c'est lui le leader de l'équipe. Puis c'est sûr qu'on ne le voit pas chaque jour, mais quand le leader de l'équipe il a confiance en l'équipe, c'est sûr que ça met de la confiance aux gars. Puis c'est pas juste lui aussi, c'est tous les entraîneurs, puis tous les joueurs.
How have you been feeling after the last few days when you're out of the playoffs?
It's tough to say because it's still kind of just, I'm sure everyone's saying that, but it's, I don't know, maybe as you get older, you kind of reflect like a little bit longer and kind of play a lot of things over and over in your head. What if this, what if that, you know? But again, it just kind of goes back to the same thing at the end of the day. Big step forward for the team and the organization this year. And trying to get to the mentality as soon as possible to not be satisfied and keep moving forward, because the next one is probably going to be a little bit harder to do, but in a good way.
You battled through injuries and personal stuff earlier in the year.
Yeah.
What's removed from that? How have you been feeling on it?
Good. Yeah, no, it's. I think changing team is always tough. It's for me, it always has been. I don't know, like my style of play, maybe. You know, like what I do on the ice. It takes a little bit of time to get the trust and maybe understanding of the coaches, the even players who I'm playing with, chemistry on the ice. Honestly, maybe even you guys or the fans. To have a, it's nice that you feel like if your game is respected and you feel like appreciated for what you do, and then you just go out there and put an honest effort. And it felt like I was able to build that a little bit better towards the end of the year, and it's fun. But again, like my other moves, I would say would be similar at the start. So it was a little bit tougher for sure, other than just the personal stuff and yeah.
Did you feel that pressure?
No, I was kind of putting in the work and knowing or hoping that it would turn the right way. I guess knowing more from experience that it would, because I always felt like my game was respected and appreciated for kind of the little things I do out there. Like, I'm not a flashy player. I'm not going out there and try and find breakaways and cheat for this or cheat for that. But, you know, like the plays within the game, the battle level, the battles on the board, the puck play, things like that. And it was good to be able to kind of find it. You know, it comes with more opportunity. The more you get out there, the more ice time. More, obviously, you always want more. And I also understand where I'm at in my career. So it's all things that also I'm battling inside on a daily basis. To the fire's fully there to want more, and then understanding the situation, what's around me.
Julian touched on the adversity that you went through earlier last summer and fall. Are you looking forward to like kind of a sense of normalcy now that you're here?
Yeah, well, I was looking for it. It seemed like at the start there was always something happening. You know, even more things happen later part of the year at some point. There's other things kind of that came up also in my, I guess, in my personal life, that other things in my family, but everything's pretty good now, and it's nice to, it's just like in the fall season, it seemed like it was one after another, and I feel like I'm in a spot now, like you said, a little bit more settled, I guess, yeah.
You've been on a lot of teams that have gone deep in the playoffs. You've won a cup. How close do you think this team and this group is to
Yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard to answer this question because every team will evolve in a different way. But I do think getting playoff experience is so valuable. It's unbelievable. Like it really feels like two different seasons. It really does, I'm sure, for everybody. And it was so refreshing to just kind of get up in the morning and just feeling the electricity in your body like right away. Like you don't even have to do anything. You just know you're going to have energy at night versus maybe game 50 of the season. It's awesome. But just that alone, I think the guys are going to crave going back next year. I think it's understanding how important the season is still, because as an older guy, I almost want to just fast forward to March 15 every year and get playing those bigger games. But you don't get there if you don't take care of the first part too.
You mentioned after the game how tough next season could be with everyone trying to get better.
Yeah.
Can you put into words how tough the division you're in is? I mean, you played in Detroit. You know exactly what that's like.
Yeah. Well, there's teams that are always trying to stay relevant, teams that have had success for a long time. I don't want to name teams, but I think it's pretty obvious who I'm talking about. And they're going to, and maybe even with the cap opening up, raising, maybe it gets easier for them to keep adding to their team, keep extending their window. And then there's other teams that are trying to get in the conversation, like us, more and more. And there's not many that year to year that truly are contenders. So we're trying to enter that window. I don't know if slowly but surely is the word, but more like kind of get to your answer. You're trying to get in that conversation. I don't know how long or when it does, but you're trying to kind of like trying to win Game 6. You narrow down your focus to maybe now it's time to narrow to yourself. What can I do over the summer to get better on a individual basis? Team aspect will get taken care of later, and who knows where that puts us.
Of all the guys you got to play with in the locker room this year, whose game maybe surprised you the most? Like you might not have been as familiar with them, but you got to play with them and experience them, and you're like, wow, I had no idea.
Well, no idea. I don't know I think I watch a lot of hockey, so I knew most guys. I mean, again, like I'd say most of our young guys, I've been really impressed with their commitment to want to get better. Away from the rink, at the rink, and it's kind of like trying to put all that together. Like I think we've talked about Sandy a lot recently, and he's one of those guys. Like it's really impressive, you know. And the guys were all committed. Like Chucky tried to get us in town early last year. No one said anything. I'm not saying that you go against your captain. You don't. It's just maybe other places in the past you kind of hear little rumblings. All the guys would like to show up, not one time. Like it was really impressive, that part. So it's tough to kind of just say one guy. I was impressed with a lot of guys.
Why do you think Travis's message and approach this year resonated with the group that came
together? Yeah, well, he did a good job to keep the group focused, and I wasn't around as much, and I'm sure obviously he did a really good job around the fall time, and like maybe game 20 to like whatever it was, we hit some tough patch. Ollie gets hurt, many guys were hurt, and we still found a way to win many games. I mean, Levy came up, played really well. Sometimes these are moments you can just kind of go away and here we go again for Ottawa, but it didn't happen. So he was leading that part for sure.
Tu as un cheminement chaotique cette saison à cause que tu étais absent. C'est une équipe qui n'avait pas fait de série depuis 8 ans. Décris-moi dans tes mots comment ça a été ce cheminement-là pour finalement faire partie des séries et amener ça au parti.
Ouais, ben ça, je disais en anglais, tu sais, au niveau individuel, c'est tout le temps difficile pour moi de changer d'équipe. Je ne sais pas si c'est une façon de mon style de jeu, la façon dont j'approche la game en général, je ne sais pas, mais ça me prend un certain temps définitivement de un peu faire confiance à juste travailler le plus fort que je pouvais puis savoir que ma game allait être respectée par mes coéquipiers, par mes entraîneurs, les médias, la ville, etc. Puis c'est pas de quoi que je me lève tous les matins en me disant je veux me faire respecter par les autres, mais ça te donne un certain paix d'esprit d'arriver à l'aréna puis de savoir que si tu donnes juste le 100% de ce que tu peux donner, c'est de quoi qu'il est apprécié. Puis on dirait ça... Tu es capable de jouer meilleur que t'es à cause de ce feeling-là.
Là, vous faites partie des séries.
Oui, non, du côté de l'équipe, c'était exceptionnel. Beaucoup de pas vers l'avant. Puis je pense que là, le challenge, ça va être de continuer dans cette direction-là. Puis justement, de ne pas penser que les prochains pas vont juste arriver de même, car ils n'arriveront pas de même, honnêtement. Il va falloir les faire arriver. Puis faire sûr que ça ne recule pas d'un pas. Encore plus.
Tu as failli marquer le but le plus important des séries. Ben, tu l'as marqué, mais je veux dire, le rythme a changé.
Ouais.
Vraiment, c'était intéressant de donner encore plus de vues aux spectateurs. Mais comment tu as trouvé le travail des spectateurs?
Ah, c'était incroyable. La ville est comme devenue en vie encore plus pendant les séries. C'était exceptionnel de voir le feeling. Je pense que tout le monde le sentait. Puis je pense que les joueurs aussi, de se lever le matin, comme j'ai dit en anglais, tu sais, tu as de l'électricité dans les veines, tu n'as même pas besoin de rien faire. Puis effectivement, ça nous prend les partisans pour avoir ce feeling aussi. Les matchs devenaient de plus en plus gros. Plus qu'on a gagné le match numéro 4, numéro 5, tu sentais qu'on avait une chance réelle de revenir. Puis on le sentait, nous autres aussi, les partisans, ils ont fait un excellent travail.
Ce but-là, il y a déjà une couple de gars depuis que le match est terminé qui nous disaient que quand tu as marqué, dans leur tête, c'était impossible que vous alliez perdre ce match-là.
Ouais.
Tu te sentais un peu comme ça aussi?
Non, mais pour être très honnête, moi, j'essaie juste de move on, d'aller chercher le prochain. J'ai pas pensé à qui allait... je sais pas, tu sais... Regarde, on a perdu, fait que je sais pas, le feeling n'était pas vrai dans leur cas, eux. Je sais pas comment te dire autre que ça. C'est tellement plaisant d'être dans ces moments-là puis de jouer. Il n'y a rien qui décrit ça. Je trouve pas ça difficile. Je me semble, on dirait que le jeu, il y a des affaires qui rouvrent de plus en plus. Au match numéro 50 dans la saison, ça rouvre pas. Fait que je sais pas pourquoi dire ça, mais dans ma tête, on dirait que ça s'est toujours passé le même.
Tu en as parlé un peu l'autre soir, mais est-ce que c'est encore quelque chose qui reste avec toi? Est-ce qu'il y a eu une pause publicitaire pas longtemps après? Les fans se sont mis à scander ton nom, puis je sais pas, je pense que l'animatrice de foule essayait de...
Oui, je sais. Comme je te dis, bizarrement, quand je joue un match, je suis vraiment focusé sur ce qui se passe sur la patinoire. J'ai pas trop entendu tout. J'étais vraiment concentré à aller chercher le prochain. Puis, honnêtement, de la seconde, quand la rondelle est rentrée, j'étais déjà viré à la page. Je pense que c'est la façon d'agir dans ce moment-là.
Comment tu as trouvé le travail de la direction cette année qui a probablement aidé l'équipe à aller plus loin?
Oui, bien, tu sais, c'est sûr que ça part d'en haut, hein, ça part du propriétaire, Michael, son niveau humain, qui est en tant que personne lui-même, puis aussi après, tu sais, il est présent autour de l'équipe, il vient souvent parler avec les joueurs, tu le sens qu'il va être présent dans la ville, c'est exceptionnel pour de vrai. C'est un des meilleurs propriétaires définitivement dans la Ligue nationale que j'ai vécu de ce côté-là. Donc, c'est impressionnant. Puis après ça, bien, effectivement, pour répondre plus à ta question, ça descend vers le bas. Puis je pense que Steve a voulu amener un certain sérieux, un certain niveau de caractère à l'équipe aussi à l'été passé. Puis il va continuer dans cette direction-là. Je pense que c'est en anglais, je le dis tout le temps, là, in the spirit of doing something bigger than ourselves, pour de faire de quoi plus gros que nous, que nous, les joueurs. On est 20 joueurs dans la chambre, on est 25, on a les trainers autour, les entraîneurs, mais gagner la Coupe Stanley, c'est plus gros que ça. Fait qu'il faut que tout le monde tire vraiment dans la direction, puis même si tu fais ça, ça se peut que tu gagnes pas. Donc, par contre, si tu n'as pas ça, tu n'as aucune chance. Puis je pense que Steve, il fait ce travail-là pour amener ce feeling-là dans la chambre.
It's been a couple of days, or 2 days maybe, just what are your reflections on making the playoffs and just the season in general?
Yeah, it's obviously still frustrating because we really felt like we had a chance to win that series. And I think it goes throughout the room. I think we were disappointed. But on the other side, I'm really looking forward to get things rolling again. And I'm proud of this team in a lot of ways. I think we found a way after being down 3-0, coming back, fighting back in the series, and giving us a chance. Throughout the year, I think everybody bought in, which was really impressive to see. All the guys came back in great shape after the summer, worked really hard, and it showed me again how much we want to win here. And I'm proud of the guys. I love all those guys, and I think we can be proud in a way of how the season went, but I think there's still more to come.
And where do you think you took the biggest steps forward this season?
I think my two-way game, trying to be able to play defensive better. I mean, I think there's still lots of improvements to be made, and I think there's still lots of areas I can get better at. But I think the most improvements were in my defensive game and, decision making.
I know it's been a couple of months, but we're not that far off from when you guys had that slide in November where you lost all those games in a row. How did you guys dig yourselves out of that? Was it meetings? Was it heart-to-hearts with people? It seemed like you guys did something to get yourself out of that, and it led to all those wins in December.
I think just trusting the process. I think training camp was really hard, and every team goes through a little bit of a bad stretch throughout the year, and we knew that. We've learned from maybe past seasons as well, where it can't affect us too much, and I think we've done a great job. Obviously, having those home games at the end helped us a lot, having the crowd on our back, but we were on the road for the whole November, December, so it's not easy going on the road all the time and playing all those road games. And but we found a way to get points where we needed to get points. And like I said, at the end, I think we really deserve to get in the playoffs this year.
How much did you lean on the newer voices, the older voices, experienced voices in the locker room at that time in November who might not be accustomed to the here we go again in November, you guys are losing all these games, and even Travis Green could be included in that too because it was his first season coaching. How much did you lean on those guys who weren't hurt by those previous seasons in that stretch?
Yeah, I think we talked a lot about it, that we can't get affected what happened the last years. We all knew what happened, but we didn't really try and think about it too much. Obviously, you still kind of have it in the back of your head, but you just try and not affect you. And I think those guys coming in, DP, Oli, they've been through a lot as well, and they know what it takes to win. And Jens as well, he's been a huge factor, I think, for the whole team, even when he was playing hurt. He's been a huge factor for our group. And so all those guys, they know what it takes to win, and that's what we needed. That's what we needed. Kazi even won a cup, scored a couple big goals. So, that's what it takes to win, and that's what we had. So, like I said, I think there's every guy on this team. I still try and learn stuff from those guys. Even the young guys coming in, I think there's always stuff we can pick up from them, and everybody brings something to the table. So, I think we had a lot of it this year.
What did you learn about your playoff experience that maybe you can take into next season?
Yeah, it was so much fun playing those games. It was actually unbelievable, and it's probably the most fun I ever had playing hockey. And with the crowd too, the atmosphere we had, and just once you get back, way more, and do it every year. And that's what I learned. I think it's going to push me even harder. I know how hard it is, and it's going to push me even harder to get better every year and trying to accomplish that goal.
Just talking in the community, fans are overjoyed with how you stepped up your game in the playoffs, physicality, defense, like you touched on. Goal scoring is not easy to come by either when that time comes. What was it about the postseason that really made you elevate that game?
Yeah, I think obviously just to want to win that bad. Obviously, when you get, I always want to win, but if you get to the postseason, there's just that inner motivation that you do anything for the team at any time. And I think we had that throughout the whole lineup. And that's where we kind of came back because everybody was willing to do anything for the team. And that was myself included. I think nobody cared who was going to score. Nobody cared who was going to get a point. It was just everything for the team. And I think all the guys on our team, all the young guys, took a huge step in that direction, what it takes to win. And, made me proud to see that.
Coach who doesn't have a contract as June 30th or something, what has he meant to you in the past few years, and would you like to see him stick around?
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Obviously, I want him to stick around. He's one of my really good friends, one of my closer guys on the team, and I can speak for probably everyone. He's got a bond to every single guy on the team. I think he is still a really special player. I think he makes our team better, and obviously it always kind of sucks to see when somebody's contract is up and you don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, I know how hard of a worker he is. I know how competitive he is, and I know he's going to come back really strong to show everyone how hard he worked in the off season. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think I can speak for everyone on the team. We are really lucky to have him, and I've been really lucky to have him for all those years now. We played together, and we went through a lot of up and downs, and I could always lean on him. He was always there for me, for Brady too, through hard times, and that's what it's all about. So yeah, I love him, and hopefully we can have him back.
What are some of the most important things you've learned from being around Claude?
Just of how competitive he is. I think both of us, you probably say the same thing. Both of us can't really lose, so every time we do something together, if it's mini golf, if it's pickleball, if it's playing soccer, none of us can lose. So there's always a couple arguments, even playing cards. But that's just the kind of person he is. That's the kind of person I am, and I think that's what makes us better too. We always, yeah, I have just so much respect for him. So anything we do, we push each other, and I look up to him in a way, and just at his age, how competitive he still is, and how bad he wants to win. So yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think previous seasons when I had issues with my wrist, I couldn't really take a lot of face-offs, and then I wasn't really playing a lot center in the D zone either. So I think I worked a lot with the coaching staff to try and get better in those aspects. I worked. Sorry. Yeah. No, this guy. Yeah, I mean, I think every single part of my game I still want to improve. But I think faceoffs was a big point. I don't even know what my percentage was the years before, but couldn't be too high. And obviously the coaching staff didn't trust me of taking those responsible faceoffs, and I want to be a guy who is able to take those face-offs, be on the ice in those moments, and they showed me what I got to do that, and that's winning more face-off as well. And I mean, obviously you can't trust a guy whose face-off percentage is 35%, and you have another guy whose face-off percentage is 57. You're obviously taking the guy with 57, so. And we have a lot of good face-off guys on the team, so that kind of motivated me to get better in that aspect too.
Defensive side, Toronto obviously utilized Marner and Matthews on PK. You saw a little bit of PK earlier in the season. Is that something that you'd like to incorporate into your game?
Yeah, I think so, but I think the PK has done a pretty good job all year. I know they got a lot of heat for some things they were doing, but they always stuck to the process. And if you have guys coming in, new coaches coming in, new systems coming in, it's not easy doing it right from the start. And there were some breakdowns maybe here and there, but we always talked about trusting process the whole time. So I think they've done a really good job of that, and they're going to continue to get better too. And obviously if I can be a part of that or help out in that, I would love to. But in the end, I think the guys who played PK have done a really good job. So there was no real reason to switch anything. And they're just going to continue to get better. Pins and Ritz have done an amazing job, I think, all year. Killing pennies, shutting down guys. So, yeah, they deserve playing on the penalty kill.
What are the areas you feel like this team needs to take next season to maybe take that next level and go deeper in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think everybody's going to get even stronger throughout the summer. Everybody's going to work harder, probably even than last year, and going to give everything they have because now we know what it feels like to be in the playoffs and what it means to this city, what it means to this fan base, and yeah, it's just a special place to play, and I think for us it's just the motivation we have in us that we're going to continue to get better. We're still really young, and now we know what it takes to get in, but we're going to try and figure out a way to win those games. I think this year's could have went either way, so that takes experience as well, and yeah, I'm just really excited to what the future is holding for us, and I can't wait to get playing again.
Is there anything in your off season that you want to improve upon heading into next season?
Yeah, I think everything. I think there's still a lot of room. I think I can get stronger on pucks. I think in playoffs I play pretty physical, so I think that's something I can still bring to my game more throughout the regular season. And yeah, just being able to be good enough condition to play 60 minutes or overtime and do whatever it takes for the team to win. And face-offs is another aspect I want to get better at. But also I think in the offensive zone, knowing when to shoot, when to pass, I think I've struggled a little bit with that this year. I had a lot of scoring chances throughout games where I couldn't really capitalize. And sometimes it's bounces, sometimes it's just picking a better spot. And I'm going to try and get better at that as well. Just know when to shoot and, and picking my spots. I think that's really important. And it's going to help me continue to get better.
How would you describe, like, obviously people will say, like, hey, you should probably shoot more. How would you describe, like, just ingraining that more in your head or just dealing with that whenever you need to?
Yeah, I think I was always a pass-first guy. My whole career, I loved other guys scoring more than me. Yeah, I mean, I have some really good players on my wings, and I'm just trying to give them the puck and give them scoring opportunities. And but I think a lot of it is confidence too. When I'm playing really confident, I think I shoot the puck more often, and I'm picking my spots way better. And I think when you always have a shoot-first mentality, when you're a skilled player and you're a talented player, you're going to make the play either way, what way it goes. And I think I just got to get better at that, and picking my spots, when to pass, when to shoot, and sometimes be a little more selfish, but yeah, it's still a team sport, so I can't shoot by myself all the time. I got to find my teammates, and that's what I like doing.
How do you think Fabian Zetterlund acclimated himself to his new surroundings, coming to Ottawa after the trade, living with you, playing on his line? What did you think of how he handled being in a new city and all of that in the last few months?
Yeah, I think he handled it really well. I loved having him in my place. I think he loved it too. Especially doing playoffs, I think it helps a lot when you guys are going through the same thing. It was his first playoffs too in the NHL, so yeah, we were really dialed and actually didn't really do a whole lot. Then just focus on the hockey and trying to play our best. And I was really impressed by him as well. Coming in, he played on the fourth line at the start, and he was always a guy who played up the lineup, like first, second line. I think had like 18 goals before coming here in San Jose. And I was really impressed how calm he was and how much he was just happy to be here and be a part of this team, and then focusing on what he's all about, that he wants to play there, and he knew we were winning. So I respected that a lot, and I don't think you can take that for granted, that he's just a guy who's willing to do anything for the team, no matter where he plays in the lineup. And he knew his chances are going to come. He knew he's gonna play up and down the lineup because it's just the player he is. But yeah, I was really impressed with that, and also his mindset of just trying to win everything. I think he blocked a lot of shots in really important games for us, and I think he was a little snake bitten throughout the year when he was with us. But you can just see he's a really good player, and
He's still really young too, so he's going to continue to get better. And yeah, we're excited, and we got him at the trade deadline.
Tim, are you going to Worlds with Germany?
I would love to, really would. I got to see. Obviously, right now it's 2 days after we lost. I haven't really thought about anything than just being a little frustrated that we lost. But yeah, I want to give my body like a couple days maybe to reset and go from there. But yeah, we'll see. I got to talk to the management too, talk to the coaches again, and see what they think, and then go from there.
How's it been for you, not just with the playoffs and all that, but you get traded after years in Buffalo, you join them at the trade deadline, teams winning, you go through your first playoff experience. How's it been for you processing these last, 2 months?
Yeah, it's been great. It's the most fun I've had playing hockey in a long time. Just, chasing the playoffs there, how big all those games were leading to the playoffs, and then playing in the playoffs. It was unreal. It was a great experience. It was awesome joining this group and meeting all the guys here. And yeah, the last 2 months have been great for me.
Talk about the playoffs a little bit, because this is your first real taste as well too, along with a lot of the players on the team. What went into that? Getting guidance from older players on the team and just experiencing that for the first time.
Yeah, obviously we had some guys with some good experience in playoffs, so they helped us a lot. Even when we went down 3-0, they still were positive in the room, just one game at a time, and talking lots and keeping the belief there for us. So just having those guys around, has a huge impact on the dressing room.
Do you always go back to Whitehorse to train in the summer, and what's that going to look like?
Yeah, I always go back for a third or half the summer. Usually I go right after the season ends, and take some time off there. And but I'm not too sure exactly what my summer's going to look like. I'm sure I'll be in Muskoka for a bit too. That's where I've been skating the last little bit. So yeah, I'll probably go back to the Yukon for a bit, and then head up to Muskoka again.
Have there been any chats about going to Worlds with Canada?
Not yet. No.
Would you want to if that option was presented?
Yeah, I think anytime you get to represent your country, it's an honor and a privilege. So, yeah, we'll see what happens these next few days.
Now that you've been around these Sens guys for the last 2 months, and I know you still have a lot of love for Buffalo and their teammates there, what would you say is the most noticeable difference in the atmosphere here versus what you were experiencing in Buffalo?
Yeah, I mean, it's we had some tough years in Buffalo, so I think the atmosphere and the environment here, it's definitely more positive. It's tough to say. I don't know exactly what the answer is to that, but I think, just coming here into a positive environment, it does a lot for you mentally and on the ice as well. Just being excited to come to the rink every day and, just be with your teammates every day. It was, great these last 2 months.
I'm wondering if you can just dive into that a little bit more. Talk about the city itself. You've been here for almost 2 months now. You're going to be here for a little bit longer after that as well. How's the adjustment been to the city of Ottawa?
Yeah, it's been great. I love it here. I've always wanted to play in Canada, so to be here now, it's awesome. And, just seeing the support and how everyone in the city rallied behind the team there was incredible. The atmosphere in that rink during those playoff games was nothing like I've ever seen before. So, yeah, it was great. I'm just excited to get to see the city more. I haven't been out a whole lot, and just explore a bit more.
How would you describe the impact of having David Perron not just as a line mate but as a locker room presence?
Yeah, he's great in the room. On the bench in the games, everything. He's always talking. Bringing the energy. Just firing guys up. He's obviously won the cup too, so he knows what it takes, and he was great to play with and get to know, and I'm just looking forward to more of that from him. He's a huge voice in the room, and great guy to have around.
Dylan, in your short time here, what did you learn about Brady Tkachuk as a leader?
Yeah, he is. He's an unbelievable leader. He leads by example. Whether it's throwing a big hit or fighting someone or scoring a goal, he does it all. And, to have that guy leading your team, it's exactly what you want. And, to follow him to battle every night is, it's awesome. He's a guy that playing against him, he never liked playing against him, but I always had a lot of respect for him and his game. So now that I get to play alongside him, it's awesome.
What are the areas of your game that you want to improve this offseason and specifically going into next season?
Yeah, there's a lot. Overall for my season, I wasn't very happy with it personally. I got a lot more to give. I think I just want to improve, having the confidence with the puck and holding on to it and maybe not forcing a play and just waiting for the play to develop. I think there's a lot of things in my game I can improve and I'm going to work on. And, I'm going to take this next little bit to really think about exactly what those are. I think a big thing for me is just getting to my top speed quicker. I think my skating is a weapon that I don't use enough, and it's just working on that acceleration, being quicker so I can use my skating more.
What did you learn from just playing in the playoffs, like about the intensity that maybe you can kind of take forward into next season?
Yeah, I learned a lot. I learned how much every shift matters. Every mistake matters. Every play matters. Whether it's just getting it in behind them instead of trying to force a play, like it matters and it has an impact on the game. So I think our group learned a lot as well. Even after that first game, we learned a lot and we made adjustments and we came out better. So I think it was a really big experience for us. That's going to help us a lot next year.
Tim mentioned to us earlier that Claude Giroux is the type of guy who has bonds with just about everyone in the locker room. In your short time with him, how would you describe your relationship with him?
Yeah, I think we had a pretty good relationship by the end of the season there. He's always chirping and giving it to me, and I'll give it back. But he's a great guy, and it's awesome to get to play with him and get to learn from him every day and just take little bits and pieces of his game and try and implement them into my own. But it was great getting to know him. He's a great guy and great guy to have in the room.
What would you say is the biggest thing you've learned from him in terms of what you can add to your own play?
Yeah, for me personally, I think was face-offs. He's obviously an unbelievable face-off guy, and I'm a righty as well. So I was always asking him during games if I was struggling against a guy, tips and tricks to help me out, and just little things like that. And he'd always give me something, and it would help. So yeah.
Could you sum up your first playoff experience?
Sum it up. Yeah, obviously it was a cool couple weeks for us. Me personally, it's just so fun. I think for a while there, every time the spring time came around, we weren't playing meaningful hockey, and then just to have that, to experience the fans here, just everything is probably the most fun I've had playing hockey in my life, and the best is yet to come for us, and I'm just excited for the future. So it was definitely a cool experience, though.
How different did this year feel, given last year you played half a season, you had a surgery,
Yeah.
all that stuff? Just how fulfilling was this season for you?
Yeah, it was awesome. I think I had a few injuries too this year, so there's a couple bumps in the road. But obviously with last year and everything I've kind of been through, it's nice to get to pretty much a full season and to make playoffs. There's a lot to build off of. Just exciting for me, and just definitely happy with how it went down.
Face-offs too in this playoff series.
Yeah.
You being one of those guys, what are your takeaways from that aspect of the game in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think that's one of the main things I kind of took away from it is how important they are. Obviously in the regular season it's important, but I think it's just so much more elevated puck possession in the playoffs to start because obviously D-zone faceoffs are super important, and it's all about inches in the playoffs, and one faceoff could obviously determine the outcome of a game, and obviously learned a lot. Taking those D-zone drills, obviously G's done a great job of trying to guide me in that aspect because he's so successful at it. So I think I learned a lot from it, and I'll carry into next year and hopefully have a great year in the dot.
How much of that guidance is chirping?
Chirping, a lot of it, but it's all out of a place of love with G. I think, I think we have that good relationship where he's kind of like my big brother, and he just wants the best for me, and the chirping is just all part of it.
Why does Claude Giroux have such a positive impact in your locker room? Not just with you, but with so many guys in your room.
I mean, obviously it comes down to two. I mean, what kind of player he is, how successful he's been in this league. He's been a captain of a franchise for more than 10 years, I think. 8 years maybe, I don't know what it is. But, yeah, just the guy he is. He's a silent leader, but he leads by example. And, I mean, when you've played 1,000 games in this league and been as successful as he's been, you're going to listen because you realize how hard that is to do and what it takes he has. And I think that's why his message is so impactful in the room.
It wasn't just your first opportunity in playoffs, but your line had a major role in shutting down some dangerous players. What was it like every game facing that task?
Yeah, it's fun. I think going into the games, you try not to think about it too much. Obviously, you know that's your job for the night. But I think me, Mikey, and Rids love it. I think we try to embrace it. And I think Greener kind of gave us that role in the middle of the year. I think it kind of started, and ever since then, I think we've done a good job of embracing it. And yeah, I love it. It's fun, and hopefully in the future I try to continue to do that.
You mentioned face-offs. What
Yeah.
are maybe some other areas of your game that you want to improve on?
Yeah, I think every year you try to look at your game and try to evaluate. I think a little bit more offensive play driving. I think I do a little bit better job of. Obviously, as a center, I think that's important, especially in the playoffs. I know there's not a lot of space out there, but you got to try to drive the play the best you can. That's a lot of 5-on-5 hockey, so that's a part of my game I want to improve. And yeah, obviously, I think I do a better job in faceoffs. I think I was around 50 this year, but I want to take a step in that area. Yeah, hopefully, maybe score some more goals in the future, but that's about it.
This shutdown role, how different is it in the playoffs when you're facing the same guys every night? You know, they're trying to figure holes in what you're doing, and you're trying to figure out their tendencies to stop them. So
it's a bit of a chess match, I think, in all areas of the game, especially in that sense, especially face-offs too. I think throughout game to game, we're looking at video, they're looking at video of how we could beat each other, and I think that's kind of the main thing when you're facing the same guy every time in the dot. Tendencies-wise, I think hockey's such an unpredictable game where it's hard. I mean, guys have tendencies, but the game's so unpredictable. There's going to be different things every night, so you just have to trust your instincts. But yeah, a lot of it's more face-offs and facing that same guy every night.
What did you think of how Adam Gaudette was in that 4C role and played on the PK and as a teammate?
Unreal, man. I think, coming into training camp, I don't think he really, I don't know. I don't know if he was supposed to make the team, but I mean, he had a great year for us. I think he stepped up super big in the playoffs. I think if you want to win in the playoffs, some guys are going to have to step up, and he did a great job for us all year. Almost scored 20 goals in that type of role. That's not easy to do, and just super happy for him. Just a down-to-earth guy and works hard every day. Doesn't say much, but he's just a true pro, and I'm just happy for him.
You talked about wanting to score more goals.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the season, you got bumped from the second power play.
Yeah.
Was that tough to take, and is that a role that you want to get back to next year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a competitive guy. I don't think you get here without being competitive. So obviously I want to be on the power play, but that's out of my control. I think that's a thing I learned. Sometimes you can't control some of the things that happen to you, and I thought at first I was a little bit bummed, but I had to play a different role for our team to win, and I try to embrace that. And hopefully in the future they see me as a little bit more of an offensive guy. But like I said, I got put into a role this year where I try to do my best to embrace it. And like I said, it's going to be a new year next year, and we'll kind of see where it goes.
You're extension eligible this summer.
Yeah.
How open would you be to extending with the Senators long term?
Yeah, I mean, if they want me around here for a long time, I'd obviously be open to it. Like I said, everything's so fresh, just ended, so I think as the weeks go on, you think about more and more things. And but yeah, obviously, I love being here. Love the boys. We're building something special, and yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to staying here for a long time.
You talked about guys stepping playoffs. What about former Nodak teammate Tyler Claude?
Yeah.
Not only physically, but is poised to make plays with the puck as well.
Yeah, I mean, I played with him obviously my sophomore year, so I kind of saw what kind of player he could be. And when you come into the NHL, it's not easy to you're trying to just get your feet wet and trying to get your ground under you. And sometimes it takes a bit. And I think in the first half of the year he came in, played well. And then, always when you're a rookie, it's not easy to play 82 games. I went through it where I was terrible for like 30 games. And it's just finding that consistency. And then for him to bring it in his first Stanley Cup playoff series and to play the role that he did, I was so impressed. I think he was one of our best players, honestly. With the puck, he broke out pretty much every puck whenever he got the chance to. He played a role in the PK too towards the end of it. He made some great plays. So, and he was starting to be way more physical. So, I mean, he's only 23, I think, 22 years old, big man, and he's just going to continue to grow and grow. So, I think this playoff series though is going to be a big stepping stone for his confidence too coming into next year, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do next year because it's going to be pretty cool.
Get traded from San Jose, you join the winning team in Ottawa, and you go to the playoffs, and everything going on around that.
I would say it's been great. Felt like I stepped into a big family, and yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's the group is so tight and so close with each other, so it was easy for me. Even hockey-wise didn't go that well at the beginning, but I felt comfortable when I learned the system more and more, and yeah.
How did the guys go about kind of embedding you into their family?
They just, like, right away when I got traded, so many guys texted me from the team, so I felt already there. They're really tight, and like I said, yeah, just felt like a family, and that was true.
What was it like living with Tim Stützle for the rest of the season? And what was that kind of brotherhood and relationship like for you?
Yeah, he reached out right away too, and told me I could live with him, and yeah, it was easy choice, and we had a lot of fun together. It's just made my when I came here so much easier. He showed me around everything, so yeah, it's just great to have a guy like that.
How was it for you learning how to play with it?
It's great. I only played against him, and it wasn't fun all the time, but yeah, it's a great player and great teammate to have around.
You're a restricted free agent this summer. Have there been any discussions with Steve about a new contract so far?
You can talk to Steve.
Would you like to be an Ottawa Senator in the future?
I would love to be Ottawa Senators, yeah.
Is it frustrating when you're having success with San Jose coming here, those expectations that you're brought in to produce, and just not getting those results right away, or are you just more focused on the process, assimilating?
I feel good about myself, I said it a long time, if I work hard every shift, it's gonna come, and it did finally come, and I mean, I didn't put up the points I wanted to, but I felt like I worked really hard for the team overall, and yeah, I'm just gonna prepare for the next year, and I will be back, hopefully.
What will you remember about your first playoff experience?
Wow, that was great. Happens fast out there, everything, first 5 minutes was hard, but then it's just hockey, and especially when we came home here, the fans were amazing, and the crowd was crazy, and there was so much goosebumps and stuff, but I mean, it's to see what we did with the whole city is just amazing.